I'm glad this is all pixely because I've been crying because it's been about maybe 9 months on LDN and it was very good for a long time, and in the past I don't know, the past like month I've been going downhill, and I'll be on a school break soon, so I will see if maybe resting for a while will make it better, but I want to try to exhaust every resource before I throw in the towel and say that this is my life. Because life is really good, definitely compared to how it used to be, like one big crash basically all day long and just CFSE. We all know how that is. I call it CFSE. Um, but it's been unexpectedly a little crash like at night, and now which is, this never happened before LDN. I'll sleep and it'll go away, but now just my body temperature is just really out of control. I'll be freezing and then having a fever at the same time and going back and forth, and um, I'm doing a lot better than some other patients, I'm sure. I'm doing a lot better than how I was, a lot better. But I have a feeling if I keep letting this go and I go downhill, it'll be harder to resume treatment. I think getting treatment as soon as possible would be better instead of waiting until I'm really bad and can't move or something. So, um, I'm just upset that I have to kind of go through this again. I thought I could have a LDN life for a while, but I think there's a lot of things out there I haven't tried, so I want to try to exhaust everything. So off I go. Wish me luck.
Hi everyone, it's me and the Sleepy Chihuahuas here. I am doing so much better since that video. I am really happy to say that was a really dark moment, and there I was reflecting on how I had been feeling sicker while I was in school, and I now know the reason for that. As I've said in some other videos, I thought I was going to school part-time, but I was actually going full-time, so I did a horrible job at pacing, and I didn't take my own advice, and that was an accident. But the entire experience of taking LDN, it was absolutely exciting, and I didn't pace as I should have. So 1 year later, everyone's been wanting to know how I've been doing from the treatment, and really good, still really good. There, of course, there were times where I didn't treat my body right. I didn't treat my mind right. I overexerted myself, and LDN couldn't save me from myself, so to speak. So I think if you treat LDN, in a sense, it's weird to say this, treat LDN with respect, understand that you still have to treat your body correctly, and that it's not a cure for MECFS. If you're really lucky, you could be asymptomatic, or it can help with a lot of your symptoms, but you still have to go to the doctors, or still treat yourself however you're treating yourself, still help yourself with deficiencies, still do a systematic approach to what's going on with your CFS. So it helps, it modulates the immune system, but with CFS there's often other things going on. There are viruses, or mold, toxicity, or infections. Sometimes Lyme causes it, so you still need to get to the root of what's causing your CFS and still treat it that way. The LDN, as far as I've seen, it just taking that by itself isn't going to help you in the long run, but it's definitely going to help your immune system if it does work for you, to get you going on with your life and getting there. If it does work for you, when I talk about this, I get sometimes disappointed when people take it with hopes that they'll feel as good as I did the day after. And I think I'm one of the more rare cases where you feel that much better the day after. And it does seem to be common that if you're not sick for too long, then it can work a little bit faster. And that makes sense when you think about the damage and everything that's been done to your body. It may not take as long for LDN to modulate that, but if you've been sick for years and years and years, yes, it might take anywhere from a few days to 6 months. From what I've heard to give it 6 months to see if it's working. And so I wanted to give a few tips to people taking LDN. If you haven't seen my videos before, I have said this in some of my other videos, but my tip would be not to start too high. Some people do really good at 0.1 and some people do really good at 4.5. For me, my perfect dose was 1.5 and I stayed there, and I've barely gone up at all. And I think that's a really good dose to start at. Some people might even want to start at an even lower dose. Another tip is for financial reasons. A lot of people say that LDN is really expensive, and a way that you can get it to be less expensive is if you have a cool doctor, and hopefully you do, or hopefully you can find one, is to have that doctor write 1 to 3 times a day. So when they do that, you'll get a 90-day prescription even though you only take LDN once a day. Another thing is to not give up on LDN. When I made that video and I wasn't feeling that much better, I didn't give up on LDN. I still took it every day, and when I missed a dose of LDN, I felt much, much sicker. Not sicker than I was before I ever took LDN, but I felt back to my original CFS self, which is not very pleasant. So a lot of people, they say they don't feel the effects, so they stop taking it, and then sometimes they get really sick again. So it's a non-toxic drug. To me, it's just been a miracle. I really can't say enough good things about it. If you're not feeling the effects from it, still try other treatments. And I would just try to stick with it, unless you've tried for months and months and months and you really don't feel an effect and you get off of it and you notice nothing's changing, then that's okay. Your treatment's in your own hands. That's just my advice. It would be to stick with it. I'm really, really glad that I did. And LDN, for the price that you pay for it, to me it's like paying the price for my life. So in that sense, it's not expensive. So to sum that up, I pay $60 for what should be a month prescription, but it's actually 3 months, because 1 to 1 to 3 times a day is 90 pills, and that lasts me 3 months. Something that also happens and that people have asked me about is some people stop feeling the effects of LDN, and sometimes it can help when you skip a day and then take it again, because it clears out the opioid receptors. So that might be good to do once in a while. So overall, I'm doing really, really good, and thank you guys for asking me to do this video. And the reason that I haven't done a video in a while was because of the times that I wasn't feeling very good, but because of other treatments that I've been doing, that I'll do separate videos for those treatments, Equilibrant and UVBI, which I did do a video on UVBI, but specifically Equilibrant has been amazing. Because of all of that, I'm feeling really, really good, but I'm not naive to the fact that I might not feel good tomorrow, and this can be taken away from me at any time, because this disease, as we all know, really sucks. But we all do the best that we can. Some people have asked if I'm still in school and if I'm working, and I'm sure people are asking that because perhaps they're too sick to go to school, or they're too sick to work, or they just want to see how I'm doing as a reflection of what might happen to them. And it's all so different, and it's all really, really hard to compare. But as I said, when I was in school, I went to school full-time by accident, and that got me pretty sick. So I did not go to school the semester after that, and I realized when I have certain deadlines, my illness is so unpredictable. A lot of times I don't make those deadlines, and I've changed my career about 3 different times, trying to accommodate it to CFS, because when I try to accommodate CFS to my school or work, it hasn't worked out ever. So I am starting a startup that is actually going to help people with CFS, ME, Lyme disease, fibromyalgia, all the illnesses that get overlooked by the government. And I can't say what it is yet, but it's going to be a great surprise when I do tell you guys. And I'll actually need some of your help for that. So I'm really excited to be starting on that. So in that way, I'm working on my work right now. So thank you guys for asking that. And so yes, overall doing really good. Had a bit of a roller coaster ride, but it was worth it in the end. If you try LDN, stick with it. Look at all my other videos, all the other different things that you can do if LDN doesn't work for you. Don't let anybody, including doctors, tell you that there's nothing you could do for CFS, ME, because it's not true. There's a lot of things you could do, and sometimes the CDC and the government doesn't know what they're talking about in that manner. So, all right, guys, it's really good to make a video again, and for Batman and Robin to make their sleepy appearance. I think I'm about to diagnose them with CFS, and I will see you guys next time.